Hello guys, welcome back to the Mental Game podcast. I'm your host, Nickel Mothra, and I hope everyone's having a brilliant week and day, and also a good weekend, to be honest, a rewarding one that rewards your hard work at work or at university or at school. I hope everyone's checked out my new series called Computer Science X Self-Development, where I essentially utilize computer science concepts to explain self-development concepts. I know that sounds a bit odd, but I feel that computer science concepts are, in a way, very connected to the real world and can be used in a number of different ways, especially in our interpersonal lives, to better understand how to approach problems and optimize our lives accordingly. So what are we going to talk about today? And, I keep saying this, but I feel that my podcast episodes are sometimes a bit too long. In reality of it, I'm losing my words here. In reality of it, people's attention spans are not too long. So I'm trying to keep these podcast episodes to around a 10-minute limit, where I sort of pinpoint my idea, pinpoint the message, and you guys act upon it accordingly. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about emotions as flowing energy, and essentially how emotions should not be classified as negative or positive. And I used to be very stuck in that mix where every specific emotion I felt, I used to categorize. And I used to categorize emotions under the umbrellas of negative or positive. And if they were negative, I used to try to mitigate them from my life, remove them entirely. I used to get angry at myself because I was feeling those emotions under the negative umbrella. And the positive emotions I used to praise and try to feel almost every day, at every instance. Now, I was reading this brilliant book by, and I think I mentioned her before, Maya Rayachora, called Visualize. And she mentioned that emotions should be looked at as flowing energy, not classified as negative, positive, or any other classifications. They should be looked at as flowing energy, as a part of your life. And essentially, this flowing energy should be analyzed, should be understood. By understanding and analyzing this flowing energy, you can pinpoint the emotions you're feeling and accordingly understand how it's impacting your well-being. For the flowing energy which is impacting your life adversely, instead of trying to mitigate them from your life, connecting this back to my second episode, or third I think, you need to try to accept them. Accept this as part of your life. Accept the emotion. Realize that it's normal to feel this way. Every human in the world feels these emotions, and it's completely normal. And that's the first step, is realize that it's completely normal. Accept that energy which is adversely impacting you. Accept it into your life. And realize that it's completely normal to feel that way. Let me give you an example here. For example, if you're feeling envious or resentful, and I felt this many times, and I used to try to mitigate those emotions, remove them from my life, feel very angry when I was feeling envious or resentful. However, as of recently, I've seen those emotions or recognized those emotions as flowing energy, where I could utilize this energy in another way. And because I'm aware of these emotions and how they're impacting my well-being, instead of trying to mitigate them, I'm minimizing their adverse impact and I'm increasing their potential benefit. Now you're probably wondering, what do you mean by that? How can you use adverse, negative flowing energy or negative emotions for or to your benefit? So let's take the example of envious. if you try to mitigate envious, it's almost very hard to. If I tell you to stop thinking about an elephant in a room, you're probably thinking about an elephant in a room. If I tell you to stop thinking about a specific thing, that's not going to stop you from thinking about that specific thing. So imagine telling yourself, I need to stop thinking about this. Stop, Nico, stop thinking about this. Well, it's completely very, very, very hard task. So instead of going down a route of trying to mitigate those emotions, let's try to minimize the adverse impact by trying to increase the potential benefit. So for envy, instead of looking at envy or resent as a adverse or bad flowing energy, we could look at envy in another perspective, in a perspective where we can learn from the other person. We can understand their ways, what we can learn from them, what certain traits and attributes can we inherit so that we can follow a similar journey to theirs or acquire the success they have. But you can also encourage the cultivation of gratitude, where if you're feeling that emotion, you could recognize that I need to be more grateful for what I have currently. I have my phone, I have the internet, I have a laptop, I'm living in a beautiful city, town, whatever you're grateful for, it just encourages gratefulness. So the main point I'm trying to make is this flowing energy. If you feel that it's adversely impacting your life, step 1 is accept it into your life. Realize it's completely normal to feel that way. Step 2, don't try to mitigate those emotions or energy. Don't try to mitigate it because it's very, very hard. Instead, try to minimize its adverse impact by recognizing the potential benefits it has in your life. 3 is recognize the benefit. Be open to the positivity and optimism. Evaluate how an energy like envy or sadness or guilt can be used as a benefit. Let's take another example like guilt. What would a positive be from guilt? Well, guilt, we could look back and say, what lessons have we learned? What can we do in the future? What can we do in the present day? And essentially it's all about learning lessons, and that's the positive from guilt. We're minimizing its negative feelings and adverse impact on our well-being by recognizing its positivity. So I think I've stuck the point pretty well. I highlighted how it's important to recognize our emotions as flowing energy. Energy which needs to be accepted into our lives rather than trying to be removed and entirely from who we are and our well-being. And that's it, really. That's it. I try to keep this as short as possible, and I hope everyone's really enjoyed this short episode. If you guys want to see stuff like this, please put it down in the comments. I really appreciate the continual support. I see the likes and the comments and the LinkedIn as well. Really appreciate it. Every person means a lot, and words can't explain how grateful I am. Really appreciate it. And I keep mentioning this at the end of my podcast, but I really would like guest speakers to come on. Speakers I could communicate with, talk to about. I'm thinking about organizing a few calls with people next week or so. And I've said that a few times, but I really mean it. I really want to get into conversations which may help you guys and which may be intriguing in certain fields of mental health and other areas as well. Anyways, guys, have a brilliant week ahead. Stay positive, stay strong, and stay confident. It's all within. Every bit of positivity and every bit of strength It's all within you, and I believe in it. And I believe in you. Sorry guys, I'm losing my words here. I believe in you. Right guys, see you and bye bye.